Hello, Gemini. Welcome and welcome back. We're going to get into your monthly reading, you guys. And I'm filming this Monday, September 29th, 2025. It is officially 1 p.m. I've done air signs first because it's Libra season. Okay, so Libra was first, then Aquarius. Now you guys are the final air sign who's going to get their reading done today. As you can hear, the lawnmower is still going on, but it's a little further away. It's in the background, okay? So I got a little bit of a channel message about that because it was ridiculous during Libra's reading with the lawnmower and everything, and during Aquarius's reading kind of towards the end with the blower. I don't know what's going on with the air sign energy right now, but I'm going to give you guys a metaphor, okay? You could be dealing with a situation this month where you're trying to avoid a tower, or you're trying to avoid this slowdown, interference, a traffic jam, something like that, right? You may even be trying to avoid a person. But it feels like a situation where you're in high school and the bully hangs out on a certain hallway, so you avoid going down that hallway because you don't want to have to deal with the bully. Okay. But it kind of feels like a situation where you can't help but to deal with the situation. I feel like there's something you're trying to avoid or steer clear of, but you're kind of in a position where you can't really do that. It also reminds me of a metaphor of a child growing up in a tumultuous household where their parents argue all the time and attempting to close the door to drown out the noise and to kind of like get rid of the noise. Wow, my blinds the wind just blew really hard. But trying to drown out that noise and avoid thinking about your parents arguing 24/7 by closing your door. But it's kind of like that feeling of you can still hear it, right? Like trying to avoid the bully, trying to avoid the tower, trying to avoid the problem, trying to drown out the noise, but not really being able to. Okay. Or like deciding that you're going to walk to school at a different time. Like maybe you're going to be a little bit late for school because you don't want to walk down a certain street where the gang members are, because you know at a certain time of day they hang out. So maybe it's when you get out of school. You're like, I'm just going to walk down this street instead of that street. It may take me the long way around, or I may have to go out of my way, but I'd rather go out of my way to avoid the gang members that hang out on the corner of such and such than to walk right past them and get antagonized by them. It's like that type of energy, Gemini. So I don't know what you guys are experiencing or dealing with, but you know, I can't tell you what to do or what not to do. But I do feel like something is going to end. Okay? Because I think he just put that blower up. Finally. Thank God. Okay? Something is going to eventually end, or you're going to eventually get through something that could be very difficult right now. And, you know, I just don't feel like there's a way for you to necessarily like just fully avoid being scathed by this. Like, you're not going to come out unscathed. No one is going to come out of this situation unscathed, unmarked, unscarred. I feel like there's going to be different levels of affectedness when it comes to whatever this is. And I think it has to do with something going on in the air. Okay. There's just something in the air. There's an energy in the air. There's something in the air, literally. I just don't know. But I feel like you're trying to avoid having to deal with this person or deal with this situation. Like somebody's a Tasmanian devil. Somebody's like a walking tornado. Okay. But we're going to do the four corners reading like I told everybody else. If you guys could do me one big, huge favor, like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe, because we got to get on a vibe. Okay. Equal reciprocity. If this reading resonates, you can leave a comment. That's very helpful. Also, if you want to book a reading, the links to the website are below, all that good jazz, whatever. But please like the video, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Don't bring anything into your life that does not belong. I hope these messages help you. Okay. But we're going to be doing the four corners reading, and the four corners is a reading that I've decided to coin as the four corners reading, because we're going to talk about all four corners of your life, hopefully. Okay. Self and identity in the first corner, career and money in the second corner, love and relationships in the third, and the hidden realms in the fourth corner, which could be your dreams, your subconscious, things that are in the 5D, things that you may not be able to see, whatever those things are. Okay. So let's go ahead for Gemini, guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration. Father, Mother, God, when it comes to this month, what is it that Gemini needs to know? What is the message for Gemini? With self and identity, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. Career and money, you have the World. Ooh. So you could be graduating from school, getting a new job. Some of you guys are ending a cycle. Like you're no longer going to be doing some type of work. You're going to move on to the next stage or the next section of your training. Some of you may have just gotten a new job, or a contract may be coming to an end. Like if you work a temp job, but it's like, I feel like this graduation feeling from that. Okay. Love and relationships, 5 of Wands, not very nice. Okay. In the hidden realms, Page of Wands. So whatever's going on underneath the surface is going to be resolved successfully, but I feel that's only going to happen if you're able to figure out what the issue is in your relationships, or why there's an issue in your relationships. Okay. Page of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. My right ear is ringing, very dull ringing, not a very loud, high-pitched ringing, kind of like a far away ringing, in case that is significant for any of you guys. When it comes to the Page of Pentacles, it kind of feels like you guys are in a situation where you're kind of at the beginning of something, okay? With every aspect of your life right now, you're at the beginning of something. So there's this energy, there's this feeling of the energy needing to settle, right? Like when people put insulation in a house, you have to understand that that insulation is going to eventually settle depending on what type of insulation is used. If they blow it in there and it's all that little dust and stuff like that, eventually the insulation is going to have to settle. So whatever it starts as or rises as is not going to be the full, the full impact isn't going to be the same once everything finally settles down and becomes more relaxed and equal. Like the equilibrium comes back, the balance comes back, right? It's like water receding after a flood. The levels of the water are not going to be as high as when they were, as when the tide was higher. It's like the water is going to eventually recede. Something like that. I feel like you guys are being very cautious about making decisions right now, or investing your energy, your time, your money. I feel like when it comes to yourself and your identity, it's very much so earth energy. So you could have strong Taurus, possibly Virgo or Capricorn in your rising sign. I don't know why I'm picking up on rising sign during these readings, but whatever. I feel like there's good news coming in that has the potential to be very positive, but I also feel like it's just potential, or it's just like a chance, you know, the beginning stages of something. Something is not necessarily 100% solidified. And I feel like you guys are very cautious or moving very slowly. Maybe you feel drained as well. You could possibly feel drained when it comes to your energy. Yeah, with this career situation, you could be dealing with an Aquarius, a Scorpio, a Taurus, or a Leo. And I feel like you guys are starting to understand why something came to an end. Like you may be starting to understand why you got fired from a job, or you had to quit, or why a contract was over and it didn't get renewed, right? Why something came to a close. Why you no longer are able to make money doing something. Whatever this is, it's like you're starting to understand why the conclusion of a situation took place, or you're starting to see that something needs to be concluded or finished or ended at this time. Now, with your relationships, this doesn't just have to be love. It could be platonic or professional relationships, personal life relationships, communities. I feel like there's a group of people here that are competing for the same person. So you may be in a group of people who want to date the same person, or you may be in a group of friends that kind of like I don't know. It just feels like they kind of don't get along. It's like people who tell self-deprecating jokes to fit in with a friend group that really don't like them, okay? So be very mindful of like your friendships with people this month, because it kind of feels like you're around people who are competing with you, or you're around people who are kind of like beneath you. It feels like this crab in a barrel, crab in a bucket type of mentality, or some type of arguments and fights, conflict going on. So just be mindful of that. You know, it could be healthy competition. Like some of you guys could be on a team. You could be participating in some type of group sports or activities. You could have a workout group where you may meet someone there, you know, maybe romantically, or you may meet new friends at this workout routine group. You could be going to a spin class. You could be doing some type of karate or something. Child, it just feels like there's a group that you're involved in when it comes to your personal relationships, possibly love, that I just want you guys to be mindful of the level of competition and how serious it gets, because it could be very aggressive and it also could be rather divisive. Okay. Now with the hidden realms being listen, this man I'm sick of this man. I'm sick of his ass. It is 1:11 right now on a dot. Right. I hope your lawnmower died. Let me stop being rude. But he's just all day. He's been out there for 3 hours. And there is no grass. There is literally cement pavement. And I just don't understand the need for this excessive, like, yard work. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing out. If I showed y'all the parking lot, which I can't do for safety purposes, but it's crazy. Like, nigga, what is you mowing? You ain't mowing shit. I guess he must have heard me, child. But in the hidden realms, you have the Page of Wands. So there's some type of synchronistic confirmation that you're receiving, or a spiritual message that's giving you a sign about something in your life. And that may be what you need to finally move forward with something that you're doing, okay? I feel like overall, though, October is going to be really positive, or whatever month you see this, because it is timeless. Whenever you see this video, the month ahead looks to be very prosperous and positive for you, Gemini, okay? Now, with the Knight of Pentacles, it just, okay, before I go deeper, though, it just feels like there's something that you're trying to avoid that I just feel like you're not going to be able to avoid whatever this is. Okay? I feel like if you face a challenge head on, or if you face some type of obstacle head on, I feel like you're going to get a better result than if you try to run from it or avoid it. Okay? Now with the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Five of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. So you're making a decision here to maybe ice someone out. You could be abandoning someone. You could be ghosting someone. You could be turning down some type of opportunity, rejecting someone. You could also be in a position where you're asking for help because you need help and you don't know where else to turn. Okay? But I just feel like it's like you're making a decision that you're not very confident with right now. You may feel a little insecure. There could be a little bit of financial struggle going on in your life. And I feel like you are making a decision to either ask for help or to give someone some type of help. I'll tell you the same thing I told Aquarius, because I feel like all the air sign readings are connected. And if you do have air in your chart, especially if it's in your big three, I would suggest you maybe watch all the air sign readings, because I feel like they are connected. And Libra is the current season that we're in with the zodiac sign. It's like you may be deciding who you're going to give your energy to. There could be people fighting over you. Hell, I don't know. But it feels like you're trying to decide where to invest your time, your energy, your money, your effort, what's most important, what should be a priority, who should be a priority. But I just feel like you're having trouble deciding, okay? You're having difficulty picking which side you want to take, or whose side you want to be on, or, you know, I don't know, maybe somebody's saying pick a side. Maybe you feel like you have to pick a side, you know? You could be deciding to stop talking to someone or not be friends with someone because another person told you to pick a side. And you're going to have to make a decision on that and whether or not that's the right thing for you to do. Because in certain situations, that could be very manipulative. In other situations, somebody may just be trying to look out for your best interests. But you have to be sure that this is the right thing for you to do for yourself. And I feel like there could be a lot of insecurities or a lot of confusion, a lot of mental conflict about what to do. You could be self-conscious about this, maybe not want to do this. Not sure exactly what that is. But it just definitely feels a little stressful. And you're trying to look at the situation from a higher perspective. I feel like a lot of you guys know that it's time to move on from something that you've been doing because you haven't really felt like you're getting what you need from whatever that is. Now with career, World card is the Four of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. So I feel like you're holding out hope that you're going to have an opportunity for something new to come in. I feel like you're very motivated and inspired to maintain some type of progress that you've made. But you could be holding on to something that you need to let go of. I don't know. There's a goal that you don't want to give up on. But I feel like there's a larger thing going on here, or there's some type of bigger picture situation going on where a cycle is coming to an end because it's meant to end. So you could be finally like giving up on some type of dream or goal that you have because you understand maybe that it's not meant to be. But the Four of Pentacles is kind of like somebody being possessive over something or being very stingy, keeping things to themselves, not being very helpful. Like when people ask you for money, you always say you ain't got it, even though you do have it. And it's kind of like, yeah, you sometimes do have to do that because people will always ask you for money endlessly and you'll end up being broke. But it kind of feels like a situation where, like, I don't know, there's just some type of lack mindset that I feel like, needs to come to an end. There could also be some type of creative project that wasn't making money before that's about to start making money now. And you're trying to decide where you want to invest or what you want to do with it. It's like something just refuses, something or someone refuses to budge or change. And I think you're finally like deciding maybe to walk away or let it go. What's the Five of Wands? Three of Wands and the Chariot. Okay, Cancer energy, possibly Aries. Strong Aries energy though with the Three of Wands and the Five of Wands. I feel like you thought something was going to go a certain way and it didn't go the way you thought. This could be travel. This could be relocation with the Chariot card. This could be moving to a different city, state, or zip code. Any type of travel that you may have anticipated or planned recently may not have gone down like you thought. Like there could have been some type of conflict that arose between you and another person and y'all fought and now you're not going on the trip. Like, right? Like there's some type of quick communication that happened or something that maybe you didn't expect that created like a change of plans, it feels like. Something was moving really quickly and I feel like somebody had a problem with that or someone had an issue with the speed at which someone was moving. I also feel like you were expecting something to happen quickly, but it just didn't. I don't know what this is. This could even be reckless driving, somebody fighting in the car, like two people in the car arguing and fighting. I would suggest not doing that. Like whatever the issue is, just, say I don't want to fight. And if somebody wants to persistently fight, tell them to let you out the car. Because I swear, I don't swear, but I'm just being honest with y'all. I was arguing with my youngest son's dad and he pissed me off so bad. I think he purposefully crashed my truck. I had a GMC Envoy years ago. And luckily, my youngest son wasn't born at that time, which you can tell how crazy I was. And I wasn't pregnant with him yet. We were just in a really toxic relationship, and I just refused to accept that I didn't need to be in that toxic relationship. But God bless my youngest son. I love him. Anyway, I was arguing with his dad before he ever came around. And this Negro had the nerve, because I wasn't arguing with him. I just wanted to have a conversation with him because of his behavior. Like, there was something that he was doing. We had just came from out of town. And I just wanted to understand why he didn't take it seriously, because we went out of town to the casino with my friend, and my friend was single and I was in a relationship, and he wanted to come because he wanted to play at the casino, and he had beginner's luck. He'd never been to the casino before. Me and her had been to the casino many times. So it's like, it was cool. Like, it wasn't no big deal that he came. Like, he was cool. It was cool. Everything was cool. But on the way back, he was supposed to take a shift, like driving, so that me and my friend could rest, like, because we started driving we started the journey. For whatever reason, he didn't go to sleep in the car like he was supposed to, because he was supposed to take a later shift. He was still up on his phone doing whatever he was doing. And then when he started driving, he was falling asleep at the wheel, literally swerving the car, about to crash our car, right? And that was already a sign enough that maybe I should have drove the whole day. But I was tired. I had to take his double shift of driving, and I got up early, and I was the one who started driving. Like, I was the first one to drive. And my friend was tired because he was supposed to go to bed. Like, he didn't want to stay on the gambling floor the night before we were supposed to leave and check out. He was like, I'm tired. I'm just going to go to sleep. We was like, okay, cool. Who knows what the fuck he was doing in the room? You get what I'm saying? But me and my friend stayed out pretty late. We got drunk. You know, we slept in as far as we could sleep in. We didn't really get like tore up, but we was just, we was enjoying ourselves last night. Okay. So he gets behind the wheel and starts swerving and stuff. And I'm like, did you sleep last night? Like, why are you falling asleep? Because you said you was tired. You went back to the room. You said you was going to sleep. And then we've been telling you all morning. It's like 5:00 in the morning. Because I had to go to work. And my friend had to go to work like later on that day. Not early in the morning. But when we got back, we were going to work like a certain shift. So we kept telling him, go to sleep in the car. Go to sleep in the car. You're going to have to drive for like an hour, 2 hours. He didn't go to sleep in the car. He falls asleep at the wheel, starts swerving and stuff. And I'm luckily awake enough. And my friend is starting to wake up enough to where we catch him before he crashes and we die. You get what I'm saying? This idiot finally goes to sleep because me and my friend ended up taking all of the ride by ourselves. He's asleep in the back for like 3 hours, right? And I'm so exhausted from driving all that way with my friend. When we got back to my truck, I told him, I was like, you need to drive home now because you've been sleeping in the back for 3 hours. I'm exhausted. If I drive back from my friend's house to our house, I am going to fall asleep on the road. Like, this is a matter of life and death. So I'm in the passenger seat or whatever. And we start driving, and there's something that like he says under his breath, or I don't know. He was being like, this nigga was smart alecky as hell. Okay. So I'm like, what's the problem? You get what I'm saying? Like, cause you're acting like you're irritated. He was still talking about he was tired. And I'm like, if you don't get out my face, like, I refuse to ever take your bitch ass on a trip again. Cause this is like really like too much. Cause you're acting like a little infant. You're acting like a child. It's worse than a child. You're acting like a baby infant. And it was just like so bad. And I was like, what is your problem? Like, why would you do that? You put my friend in danger. And now she's pissed off at me because you almost crashed her car. Like, what is going on? Like, what was you doing all night? Was you up all night? Like, what's going on? Because, like, I already suspected he was, like, talking to bitches and cheating and stuff like that. So, long story short, he tried to ignore me and put headphones in his ears. But you know whose headphones that he put in his ears to try to ignore me? It was my headphones. He was using my headphones that I gave him to use after I had got AirPods. He was using my headphones that I didn't give it to him to have. I gave it to him to borrow because he didn't have no headphones and didn't want to buy no headphones. So I gave him these to borrow. So now all of a sudden, the one time you want to use these headphones ever in my presence is when I want to talk to you about what's going on and have a conversation just to understand where your head is at while we in the car, and you just ignore me. You don't say anything. You put the headphones in your ear. Baby, I snatched them headphones out his ears and threw them bitches out the window. I said, what you gonna do now, bitch? Because I don't like that. I don't like when people are condescending like that, because I'm a very calm person when it comes down. It might not seem like it, but initially I'm a very calm person when it comes down to like trying to get to the bottom of situations, have conversations. Like, I never want anybody to be upset. I never want there to be any animosity. I just want everybody to be happy and chill and, you know, feel positive about life, bro. But when people try to thwart my efforts of keeping the peace and having balance in my life, and they try to create chaos in my life when I'm trying to keep the peace, I might slap the shit out your ass. Cause what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm being straight up right now. So he put them headphones in his ear, and I'm like, okay, so that's how you feel about the communication, our relationship. This is how I feel about your space and personal boundaries. So I snatched them bitches out his ear, threw them out the window. I said, what you gonna do now to ignore me now? All I'm asking you is what was going on. Like, I'm just trying to figure out where your head was at. Like, are you good? Are you cool? Is you cool? He just started yelling and getting mad. So I'm like, why are you yelling at me? Like, I'm not. I said, you know what? That's fine, because you can get your ass the fuck out when we get back, because the lease is in my name. You can go to your mama's house for a few days and figure out what the fuck is wrong with you. Child, before I knew it, this nigga was crashing into the 18-wheeler truck next to us on my side. There was an 18-wheeler truck on the passenger side. And I rolled my window down. I said, fine, you want to ignore people now since you acting all belligerent and you're yelling at me just because I want to have communication with you in our relationship, I'm going to roll down my window and ignore you. And I told him that that's what I was going to do. I know it was petty, but listen, I only have so much patience for people's nonsense and shenanigans and foolishness. So I rolled the window down. I'm looking at the truck passing us by, and all of a sudden he do like this and swerve my truck into this 18-wheeler. It hits on my side, busts up my car. We swerve around on 75. You know the road that you go from Atlanta to get to like Marietta? We swerving around in a circle on 75. And then my truck veers into the median of the highway, and we crash head first into the median. My car's smoking, the car's on fire. You get what I'm saying? I'm stuck in the passenger because the door would not open, because it literally, like, I kid you not. He said that the truck was swerving in his lane. I did not see the truck swerving in his lane, bro. I saw him swerving closer to the truck, and I was about sick of his ass when it comes to driving, because this nigga always fucks up cars. He does not know how to drive. You get what I'm saying? He acts like he knows how to drive. He don't know how to drive. He get mad when people don't want him to drive. Right? So, and then he got mad when my son was born that I didn't want him to drive my son around as a baby. Nigga, you crashed the car when I was in the car, and you almost crashed my friend's car the same day, not 4 hours earlier. Anyway, I feel like I saw him doing like this. I asked him about it later on. He acted all funny about it. I believe in my heart of hearts, in my soul, that he crashed that car on purpose to try to kill me. You get what I'm saying? Or to try to badly injure me or scare me. I believe that he crashed that car on purpose, or he was riding along too close to that truck to where the truck swerved because he was getting too close to it. I believe he was trying to either ruin my truck or cause some type of bodily harm to me. Because there was no child in the car at that time. I hadn't had my baby yet. That's how insecure I was, that I stayed with him after that and had his child. But that's why I'm telling you these things. And that's why I'm able to do these readings for y'all, because I have been on a lot of different spectrums of energy. I'm not saying I know everything. I don't know everything. That's impossible. But I've been in certain situations to where, like, when it comes down to this intuition stuff and this spirituality stuff and these spiritual warfare battles that a lot of us are facing, I have been there, done that. Got the t-shirt, the shot glass, and everything else. And I kind of feel like there's a situation here where it kind of feels like you guys know that there's something that needs to change. And it made me tell you that story because, I feel like if there's an argument or a fight that you're having with someone on a trip, on a boat, on a cruise, in a car, on a plane, on a train, whatever type of transportation it is, wait until you get on solid ground to continue the discussion that you're having. Because I kind of feel like there's a situation here where if you're arguing in a car with somebody, y'all might crash. And I don't want that to happen to you because I've been through that. Okay? And there could definitely be a relationship that you are leaving behind because there's just too much drama, there's too much fighting, there's too much arguing, there's too much competition. This could even be a group of people. And it's just too much, okay? Now with the everything is fine, Ten of Swords, and the Temperance card is coming out with the subconscious, okay? So you could definitely be in a situation like every situation that you're dealing with this month has the potential to create a certain outcome, right? If you make a decision for yourself to prioritize what you feel like is important and what you feel like you're good at, and, you know, really be wise about where you invest your time, money, and energy, your tangible energy, it has the potential to turn into something that could grow and become extremely beneficial for you and how you view yourself and your self-esteem, right? When it comes to your money or your career, if you plant the seed or, you know, build the momentum of something that you're really passionate about and that's, you know, creative or along the lines of what you would love to do, it could create this level of finalization in other parts of your life that need to come to a close and allow for this new beginning to run its course. And because something new is happening, you could definitely have opportunities to have new experiences that you've never had before if you're able to see the potential of something that may not be fully fleshed out, right? All of the things that are happening this month are about what something could turn into, but not all of it is positive, right? Because in you have the potential to get into fights and arguments with someone if you keep moving in the way that you're moving with the expectations that you have or the way that you communicate. It's something about that. It's like a decision to It's like, don't choose to be ignorant in a situation where you could make a better choice. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying you guys are ignorant whatsoever. I just think that you're going to feel this urge to move in a certain direction. You're going to feel this urge from spirit to make certain decisions or to dissect and discern the situation a certain way. You're going to feel those urges this month. And if you make the right decisions, spirit is basically saying that you have the potential to increase or multiply or improve your situation exponentially. But it also is the same if you make the wrong decision, it could have the potential to decrease or, you know, create a negative effect on your situation just as quickly. Okay, kind of like in The Sims, for anybody who plays The Sims, when you have special lot traits or you have a tiny home and it increases how fast you build relationships, but it can also adversely affect the Sims relationships. If you're an enemy with somebody, you can hate each other even faster. Okay, but the Temperance is here with the subconscious and the everything is fine Ten of Swords. That's your card. But I feel like Spirit wants you to be motivated and inspired for what you can achieve and what you can accomplish in a situation. I really feel like your Spirit team wants you to know that all hope is not lost when it comes to what it is that you want to achieve. But I also feel like there's a need for you not to be in like this woe is me type of victimhood attitude in a situation. The universe is balancing something out or trying to bring something together. I feel like you guys could know spiritually and intuitively within yourself that something is going to work out. And I feel like that's a really positive attitude. It's like, you know, that in time, with time, a situation is going to balance itself out or work itself out. And you're seeing signs of that. So it's like, it's reassuring you that you don't have to worry, even though a situation may make you feel anxious and worried. So what's the situation? Bam. The cards don't lie. Yeah. The cards don't lie. Okay, period. Ten of Swords. That's the situation. So when it comes to your intuition, when it comes to the 5D, when it comes to magical experiences, when it comes to the hidden realms, you can sense and feel physically in your body that something is going to work out. But right now, it just looks really fucked up. Ten of Swords. Wow, the Devil and the Star. Ooh-wee. I feel like you're trying to heal from some type of attachment that you had to a person where they betrayed you. Somebody betrayed you and you're trying to heal from it. Some of you are also trying to heal from like a botched surgery or some type of injury. I don't know what the Devil is. Some of you could be praying or hoping that some type of attachment is severed, that you're able to sever this tie or disconnect yourself from someone. I feel like if you're breaking up with somebody or ghosting someone, it's like, you know, you're making the right decision, but you're also afraid of how someone is going to react. I feel like y'all might have had a situationship with somebody where it was just about sex. And you know this person might act crazy if you cut them off. Okay? There's some type of toxic behavior that somebody is repetitively doing. Like they always lie. They always, you know, feel betrayed by you or betray you, stab you in the back, leave you hanging. It's like there's some type of vulnerability that you have to an attachment with somebody because you're still healing. There could also be like this vulnerability to germs because you're just recovering from surgery. Like when people have babies or C-sections, it's like your body is still open. So there's the potential. You need to be very cautious here of who you surround yourself with, because like, just say, for example, you're choosing not to be friends with someone who you've been friends with for years, but you still stay friends with your mutuals. That may not be the best choice, because the access that those mutuals have to both you and the person you're cutting off could create this contamination. I feel like there's some type of contamination going on, because I feel like you're trying to heal from something being cut out of your body. This could even be an addiction of some kind, you know. You could be having some type of unaliving thoughts or be very hopeless about life. But it's like there's this cloud that I feel like you guys are experiencing. But there's like deep within yourself, your inner child, it looks like, is trying to help you to get through this and reassure you. There's like this angel, this angelic force telling you that everything is fine, okay? The advice is to continue to move forward, even though it may be difficult or very hard. You are on the road to healing. I feel like you have done a lot. You've made a lot of progress. You're not out of the woods yet, but you've made a lot of progress. So like, you know, people who go through chemotherapy and they're waiting to see if the cancer is gone or if it comes back. Some of you guys, like, you're not turning back. Spirit is guiding you through this difficult situation so that you can make it to the other side and have this peace and tranquility that I feel like you guys are hoping for, okay? This could be about like what you're thinking, your thoughts, your speech, the way you talk about yourself, the way you talk to other people. There's definitely something here about communication with other people that I feel like could be a problem, right? Like if you're communicating with a bunch of people who are very competitive and toxic, that's a problem. If you're communicating with a mutual friend that you have with someone else who you've cut off, that could be a problem. If somebody is talking to you and you're taking their advice, but they're a really toxic, nasty individual, that could be a problem. Okay. There could even be something within you that makes you feel insecure subconsciously that you're unaware of, that you think about, but that you try not to think about. But like it could make you feel insecure about yourself, and then you project that communication out towards other people when really it's a reflection of something subconscious that you need to deal with, right? People who are extremely aggressive, people who are extremely confrontational, people who are always in this victim mentality usually are dealing with something emotionally within themselves subconsciously that puts them in that position to have those type of mindsets, to react and respond the way that they do to situations. So if you are finding yourself getting into arguments with your friends, your family, your spouse, your parents, your children, coworkers, things like that, bosses, it may be because Spirit is trying to enlighten you to something going on within yourself and show you that these confrontations that you're getting into with people are a sign of a deeper issue that needs to be dealt with. Okay. That's just what I feel. Now, what is the Six of Swords? I feel like there's a lack of communication going on, but this could be because a person needs to heal. Someone may not want to talk to you because they need to heal. You may not want to talk to somebody else, and that's because you need to heal. And whoever it is that you don't want to talk to needs to respect that. We have the Tower and the Three of Pentacles. Wow. So you may get a promotion all of a sudden, or you may get a new job all of a sudden. You may get some type of offer. With the Chariot and the Six of Swords, some of you may be offered a position overseas. Maybe you're in the military. I don't know what you do. But you could be offered a position overseas, and this is like all of a sudden you're getting a major position. This is like a management position or a CEO position. It's a very prominent role. The leader of a company or an organization or a person in a prominent role is being removed, fired, terminated. Some of you guys may be losing your job suddenly. I'm sorry, but I just see it. Something in your career is coming to an end, but it's creating a new beginning that's actually positive for you. Okay. There could be a company that's shutting down, a business that's shutting down. There could be a company or a business or someone who you work for who experienced like a natural disaster and they have to leave the building. Okay. There could be a fire in the building. Okay. What is that show with Selena Gomez? Only Murders in the Building? I don't know. I've never watched it before. But isn't it about like ghosts or something? I have no idea what that show is about. I've never watched it. But it kind of feels like this is like all of a sudden you're getting a raise or promotion and you have to relocate to take advantage of it. And there could be someone in a relationship, your marriage, possibly your spouse, or someone who you date or deal with who could be having an issue with this move that needs to happen. And it could create some type of fighting in your relationship. You may end up going without this person, going by yourself, and maybe you're deciding to break up with them, especially if you're just dating and you're not married. But that's what I feel like is going on. Or there's all of a sudden this loss of a job, this termination, this layoff, this firing that's taking place. But it's because Spirit is trying to guide you somewhere else. And this process coming to a close and how it's coming to a close, what's going on, is here to help you understand that and see the potential that may lie in the future. Okay. Some of y'all are getting a really good position, and whoever you're dating or dealing with, you may have to be apart from them. And it may not be a situation where you guys break up, but we do have the Tower and the Five of Wands. This promotion or this increase in your career abundance could cause a breakup between you or someone else, or it could thrust you into an unexpected long distance relationship that may not work out for your current couple. It's going to take a lot for you guys to get through it, but I feel like you can get through it. You just have to figure out, ways to communicate more clearly, possibly. And some of you guys are losing a job, and it could show you someone's true colors because they may leave you or break up with you because you've lost this job. And then something else is going to come through that Spirit is trying to guide you towards. And whoever this person is who was disloyal to you and wanted to betray you and was maybe only attached to you for clout or fame or money needed to be exposed before you get this actual good position. That's what I kind of feel like is going on. All right, y'all be sure to like the video. What else does Gemini need to know when it comes to these messages? Okay, suffering in silence, unspoken desires, real feelings, broken dreams. And here we go again. And he was quiet, right? He was quiet. What the fuck else is there to blow? What else is there to blow after all this? You get what I'm saying? Why did you come back 30 minutes later and start blowing again? Or whatever, 10 minutes later. What else is there to blow? You get what I'm saying? So someone could be trying to poke at you for, no reason. You could be being bullied, harassed, hazed, metaphorically, literally, I don't know. But you're definitely suffering with something in silence. That's the Five of Pentacles. You feel very insecure about what's going on behind the scenes that other people can't see. And you definitely want something or feel something strongly about a situation. You're very passionate about something, but you feel like it's not possible. A lot of you guys are giving up on something that you really wanted to do. You're giving up on whatever this is. You may have a broken dream that you are finally letting go of or accepting, like the party is over, or that you have to let this go, You recognize that something is collapsing or crumbling, or that it's not built on a stable foundation and it's causing too much chaos or drama in your life, and you have to let it go. And I feel like it's very sad and it's hard for you to give up on these dreams, but it's what you feel like you have to do. And it's creating a lot of, I think for a long time you may have tried to avoid this. You may have, this could be a marriage that was just destined to fail, or that was never really built on a firm foundation. This could be a toxic relationship with the devil and, all these cards and the story that I told with my baby daddy. You get what I'm saying? This could be something that you didn't want to admit to yourself was going to fall apart, but now it's like you have to finally accept it. But Spirit is going to help you understand. I don't know, child. It's a lot going on at the bottom of the deck. But, in the beginning, I told you guys, I feel like you tried to distance yourself from this, or not be involved, or drown it out, or distract yourself. And Spirit is just not going to let you do that. Okay? You could even be deciding to cut somebody off. It's just crazy. At the bottom, you have karmics, third parties, haters, learned lessons. Yeah. Dealing with karmic people and suffering in silence. Because you don't want to deal with the effects of a situation. And I feel like something got to do with Aquarius and Libra. And we have the star card out here. So I really suggest you watch both of those air sign readings. Then we have hopeless, loss, depression, unaliving. And that's what I was saying with the Ten of Swords. I feel like you're really, really focusing on a negative aspect of a situation, and Spirit is trying to get you to recognize that this is actually a blessing in disguise with the Six of Swords. Whatever this tower is happening because it needs to happen, because something is not stable, something is not grounded in reality, or something is not built on a firm foundation. Something is bound to collapse anyway. So you would rather be on your way out already before something comes crumbling down, because you don't want it to come crumbling down on top of you. You don't want to be, like I said to Aquarius, you don't want to be an accessory. I almost said an accessory to murder. And then that show that I was talking about with Selena Gomez, you don't want to become an accessory or, culpable in someone's crime if you didn't have anything really to do with it. You don't want to be associated with someone's karma, a third party, and have to learn a lesson because you were involved with them. Okay, guilty by association. You don't want that. But you could be feeling very low and very down and feel like you experienced a great loss and that you have nothing left. But Spirit is trying to tell you with this Knight of Pentacles, you do have something left, or you do have a person here who's offering to help you. You just have to accept the help. It's about giving and receiving. It's about helping each other through a situation together. That's kind of what it feels like. A lot of Gemini energy, though, with those 2 Ten of Swords. You also have, so you got Aquarius out here with the Star card, Capricorn with the Devil card. You have possibly Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and I almost said Libra. But it's Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo with the World. Scorpio with the Tower. Cancer with the Chariot, possibly Aries. Really strongly could be Aries. And then Sagittarius with the Temperance, okay? There could be someone in your life who created a bunch of problems for you, Gemini, who is now in a position where they could be suffering in silence because of the fact that they created some problem for you to cause you suffering. Like someone else could be suffering because they created suffering for you, but you don't know about this because they're suffering in silence. Someone could be feeling very hopeless and they could feel suicidal or depressed. If you are associated with a Gemini, but you're not a Gemini, maybe you're cross-watching this person, this is how they could be feeling. Very low, very down, very depressed. And I think this person is trying to hide it and cope with it, but I don't know how well they're doing with this. It kind of feels like with this subconscious, with the hidden realms and the Temperance and the Page of Wands, things are like there is a guardian angel here protecting this person. There is a force, an angelic energy that's protecting this person and guiding this person, and I feel like trying to help them balance out their emotions and look on the bright side of situations. It's very interesting. Anything else for Gemini? Mirroring in reverse. Didn't I say something about mirrors earlier? Anyway, experiencing similar energies. New job, you're hired. You got the job and the scoop deck title card. So there is a new job here. That's what I'm saying. So somebody's getting fired and somebody's getting hired. You're experiencing similar energies, but they are inversed. So like you could be married to somebody or in a relationship with somebody and one of y'all is getting fired while the other one is getting hired. And that's what could cause the Five of Wands conflict in your relationship or your connection, because there could be some secret animosity or hidden animosity because of that dynamic. Okay. That could be what's happening underneath the surface. That could be what's happening with someone else that you don't see. But I feel like a lot of you guys, to be honest with you, initially, I felt like y'all were going to get a promotion or a raise or a bonus or a new job all of a sudden out of the blue. And you were probably going to have to relocate for this. And it could cause animosity between you and like an Aries or a Cancer or a Capricorn or an Aquarius or a Scorpio who you're dating, because they're actually going to have to be long distance with you, or maybe you don't want to do long distance and you're breaking up with them because that's too much. But somebody is upset that you're moving forward towards this calmer, smoother place or towards this new experience. And I feel like some of you guys, this is just a situationship where y'all just fuck. And that could be the irritation. Is like, maybe it doesn't have anything to do with your career. Maybe you're just recognizing that this connection or this team or this group or this friendship or this situationship is not built on a firm foundation if all we do is just fuck. And maybe you're tired of doing that because you're exhausted. And you want to cut it off because you want to prioritize things that are more important in your life. And someone could be very upset about that. And they could be trying to betray you in some way in the hopes of staying attached to you and staying connected to you. Right? They could be trying to plot on you to expose you online. They could be trying to make you look crazy. They could also be trying to create a situation maybe where they trap you with a baby. I don't know. Especially if they're an Aquarius, because in the Aquarius reading, I was talking about a pregnancy, a marriage, or a baby. All right. So I'm just, I have a special place in my heart for Geminis. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. What's the advice? Ooh. Courage. Courage lies within you. You have the power to overcome anything. You really do. You really do. Do not let the demons creep in. Just ignore them bitches, okay? Trust your intuition. The universe guides you, okay? They're trying to let you know that they're guiding you towards a more peaceful existence. And you have the courage to get there and make it across those waters. Wow, strength. Look at Mufasa. Or is that Simba? Strength. Your inner strength is boundless. Unleash it, yeah. So they want you to really take flight. They want you to spread your wings and fly. Okay? And trust that you're going in the right direction. Have the courage to do the things that could be very scary, but that will also be extremely rewarding for you and the people who you love. And I hope that helped you guys, Gemini. Like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Get in the comments. Let me know if it resonated, y'all. If you benefited something from this reading or gained some type of benefit, please consider donating. PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle is below. It really helps out, you guys. But your engagement helps out the most. So share this video with a Gemini who you think may need to hear it. Leave me a comment. Like the video. If you want to book a personal, that's below. And other than that, I will see you guys next time. Okay? Bye, Gemini.